Hi, name's Evan. Superman is a firefighter. This is an interesting analogy that I saw online earlier today when I was perusing the interwebs and I found a video on Twitter because I was unfortunately on Twitter. But I saw this video of someone discussing something that they saw on YouTube Shorts which someone else stole from TikTok. So I'm not stealing content. I'm like triple recycling some information, a rumor that's being passed around amongst the masses, and I'm now going to be passing it upon to you because I find the idea so intriguing that Superman, you can, if you were to attribute him to some real life role upon us puny little humans on this puny little planet called Urath, what would you attribute him to? Many people would say maybe, oh, he's a cop. He's policing. He puts robbers in prison. Oh, he upholds the law. But does he? Really? And of course, this is more primarily in reference to James Gunn's more recent interpretation of Superman, but I feel like this also could be attributed to the comic instance of Superman too, that like he's a firefighter. He doesn't go and try and make sure that the law is being upheld because he doesn't represent a certain system of law. He's not from America. He's not an American. He's an alien. He came from space. He came from the outer of space and dropped in a pod, and then all of a sudden decided to start like just keeping people safe and protecting people and being more human than humans are, which I think is such a great analogy for how Superman is. But like the whole idea that it's not like, oh, I want to stop people from breaking laws. It's that if a monster appears or a threat appears that hurts other people, I'm going to make sure that threat doesn't hurt anyone, and I'm going to make sure that threat goes away. I mean, he literally in the movie saves a squirrel. He saves a squirrel from a giant, like, he was fighting a Goliath creature with tentacles. It was like Cthulhu-ass motherfucker. And there was a squirrel about to get crushed, and he saved the squirrel. Like, you didn't have to do that. Little man who was just going to collect some nuts and shit, maybe get squished. I mean, he didn't even see it coming. So it's like, it's like saving a cat from a tree. Like, he is literally a firefighter whose only goal is to protect. Like, another good example of this is actually in James Gunn's new movie as well. And so, of course, a little bit of a minor spoiler, but he went in and he stopped the foreign conflict. There was a more advanced country invading a less advanced country, which is a oddly topical thing to be going down, but he stopped the invasion and he kept the less advanced country safe. And so in an interview with Lois Lane, she's like, who gives you the jurisdiction to represent America like this? And he explicitly says, I'm not representing anyone except myself and doing good. That is, like, I think bar for bar what he said. And it is literally that. It is literally just the entire goal is there is no target. There is no law being upheld. It is a man versus a danger. It's a man versus something that is going to harm someone. And so he goes to stop it. I think that's really cool because it is just a firefighter. A firefighter doesn't go in with the idea of having any bias towards his target. It's a fire. It's a thing that he needs to get out of the way. Or a tree. Those darn trees, always keeping cats in them and shit like that. The cats don't want to be up there. Get them down from there. But like, I love that analogy. I think it's a perfect way to describe Superman. And the thing is, throughout my whole life, I've never been a big Superman fan. I never really loved the idea of just this god creature that could do whatever he wants. And I've seen Injustice. I've seen Zack Snyder's interpretation of Superman. It's always been like this creature that is just above humanity and looks down on us and it gets sometimes like annoyed with us. But this new interpretation of Superman, and of course, since I've been kind of reading up on comics as well, is this, like, as I said earlier in the video, a more human than humans, just with the entire pure intention of keeping people safe. And I love that. I love that it's literally with great power comes great responsibility to an 11, crank to an 11. And so, I really want to hear your thoughts on this, though. Do you think there's a different job that you could attribute, a different puny human job that you could attribute to Superman and what he does? Or do you think that firefighter really is a great analogy for him? Because I personally think it's perfect. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. This video already went way longer than I wanted it to, but I just wanted to yap about this. So anyways, as always, my name's Evan. Go watch the new movie because it's freaking awesome. And bye-bye.